Emily nervously adjusted her outfit in front of the mirror, wondering if the choice of the little black dress was too much for a first date. Her excitement and anxiety mixed as she prepared to meet Mark, the guy she'd been chatting with on Tinder for the past week. He seemed charming in their messages, and the anticipation of finally meeting him in person made her heart race. The agreed-upon meeting spot was a cozy cafe nestled in a quiet corner of the city. As Emily arrived, she scanned the room for a familiar face. Spotting Mark at a corner table, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. He looked just like his pictures, tall, dark hair, and a friendly smile. Initial conversations flowed smoothly. They laughed, shared stories, and discovered common interests. Everything seemed perfect, yet, beneath the surface, there was an unease that Emily couldn't shake. Mark's eyes flickered nervously, and he frequently glanced over his shoulder, as if expecting someone, as if someone were watching them. Emily dismissed it as paranoia. Maybe he was just a little quirky and awkward. Could it be she was making him nervous? As they delved deeper into conversation, Emily tried to probe into Mark's past. His responses became evasive, and he skillfully diverted the discussion whenever she touched on personal matters. Despite her instincts urging caution, Emily chose to overlook these red flags. Midway through dinner, Emily excused herself to the restroom. As she refreshed her makeup, a text from an unknown number appeared on her phone. "He's not who you think he is. Get out now." The words sent shivers down her spine, and she hesitated, torn between confronting Mark or heeding the ominous warning. Returning to the table, Emily decided to confront the mystery head-on. Mark's charming demeanor faltered when she mentioned the text. He stuttered, claiming it was a friend playing a prank. Unconvinced, Emily insisted on ending the evening. Walking out, the night took a sinister turn. A shadowy figure seemed to follow her at a distance as she walked through an alleyway. Emily's heart raced as she quickened her pace, the echo of footsteps matching her own. She hailed a cab, glancing back to find the shadow melting into the night. As the cab drove away, Emily sought answers from Mark, who offered feeble explanations. The cab ride became a tense exchange, with Emily demanding the truth and Mark growing increasingly defensive. The atmosphere thickened with each passing block. Once home, Emily decided to sever ties with Mark. The mysterious warning haunted her, and she couldn't shake the feeling that something fishy was going on that night. The true intentions of Mike remained shrouded in mystery, leaving Emily with unsettling questions. The warning text and Mark's evasive behavior hinted at something more sinister than a simple Tinder date. While the specifics of Mike's motives were never revealed, the mysterious figure following her suggested a potential threat. A week later, Emily couldn't shake off the eerie feeling that lingered after her unsettling Tinder date with Mark. The ominous warning text and the mysterious figure that had followed them continued to haunt her thoughts. As she scrolled through news articles one morning, a chilling headline caught her eye. "Emily found dead under mysterious circumstances." Her heart skipped a beat as she read the details of the crime. The victim, another Emily, shared her age and some striking similarities in her description, was found dead in the same alleyway she walked through when she felt the presence of the figure following her. Fear coiled in the pit of her stomach, and a cold realization settled in. She could have been the one in that tragic headline. As Emily grappled with the horror of the news, her phone buzzed with an incoming message. The sender ID was unknown, and a shiver ran down her spine as she opened it. The text read, "Could have been you." Panic set in as Emily stared at the ominous words on her screen. The sender seemed to know more than they should, and the implication that she narrowly escaped a similar fate horrified her. Questions swirled in her mind, and the realization hit her that the warning she received earlier wasn't just a prank, but a desperate plea for her safety. Haunted by the tragic fate of the other Emily and the cryptic message, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The line between the digital world and reality blurred, leaving her to grapple with the chilling notion that her Tinder date had concealed darker secrets, and she had, unknowingly, danced on the edge of a perilous abyss. She found herself drawn back to the source of her unease, Mark's Tinder profile. However, when she searched for him on the app, it was as if he had vanished into thin air. His profile, once filled with charming pictures and carefully crafted details, was nowhere to be found. Determined to seek answers, Emily hesitated for a moment before dialing Mark's number once again. The ringing on the other end seemed endless. And just as she was about to give up, a gruff voice answered. It wasn't Mark. Confusion and fear knotted in her stomach as she stammered, "Is Mark there?" A moment of tense silence passed before the unfamiliar voice responded. "Mark? Never heard of him. You got the wrong number, lady." The call ended abruptly, leaving Emily with a sinking feeling. The person who had once shared an intimate dinner with her, the person who seemed to know more than he let on, had seemingly vanished from both her digital and real life. The realization that Mark might have been using a false identity made her sick. The questions multiplied, and the shadows of doubt deepened. Who was the person she had shared an evening with? What dark secrets had he concealed, and why had he chosen to hide behind a facade? Emily couldn't escape the feeling that she had narrowly avoided a sinister fate, and the unknown forces that had warned her were still lurking in the shadows. The mystery remained unsolved, leaving her with a chilling awareness that the digital realm of dating could be a treacherous landscape filled with secrets and potential danger.